Let's jump right into it, man. From being projected to be picked in the first round to not even making it in the top three. What happened to Shedeur Sanders? We're talking about the guy who lived football, played under his legendary dad, was well plastered all over social media, and still he slid hard. Last week we talked about him. It was a instant reaction because we were looking at it happening and we thought, let's record, and without having any background information, we just gave our 2 cents on why we think this is happening. And we took a week to think about it, gather the evidence, and come back. And maybe we have a different view. Maybe it was all collusion. Maybe it wasn't. Let's talk about it. Fair use.
Bro, they gave you a completion percentage award, and all you did was throw check downs and bubble screens. If I did that, my completion percentage would be 90. I throw the ball downfield, you don't. You ran the ball. You had a run game. You had a run game. You had a run game. And you did it? No. You was told that thing versus North Dakota. Think about total rush yards. Come on, man. That ain't my fault. I hope you're not getting no water. We just had the first drill. Oh, that's how you feel? You get water, we ain't even done with the first drill.
Let's go.
That's how it is in Colorado, though.
Inside the numbers, top.
That's what it's like for a 9-win man. I didn't have water. I was doing Gatorade. Shit, I get paid for. That's cool. I don't need to get paid. Bro,
I don't need to get paid. Is this what tanked Shedeur? There are whispers, rumors, what happened, receipts now. Tonight we're gonna dive into this situation. What happened during that interview? His agent, his dad. Did his dad tank his stock by mistake? Let's talk about it, RJ, because it's not as simple as people make it to be. It's not as simple as collusion. At least, let's see.
Yeah, as you said, KR, it's not as easy as and it's simple. It's not as easy as 1, 2, 3, do re mi. It's not. This video showcased, at least, yeah, it showcased in my eyes, two competitive quarterbacks who were both projected during that time to be top picks. We're going to discuss in a bit what we think about what happened. Also, we have to say, at least I have also watched other people from their various aspects, various areas of life, give their takes as well. So that helps you formulate things as well, right? And of course, guys, remember to rate the show by pressing the like buttons, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification icon as well. But, KR, some people thought that it was him, his own doing. Other people were blaming his dad and saying, you know, he did some things that it's his dad. Prime.
I mean, we cover Prime a lot. His rise from Jackson State to Colorado, the impact he's had so far.
Yeah. We also covered his deliverance from Pilar.
Twice.
But they were together during the draft. At least together, they were in the same room.
But not close to each other.
They were in the same room, though. I don't know if they talked.
They were.
They were.
At their last game, they were on the same field as well. So
that's true.
It's nothing new.
Well, difference is that this time they were in the same picture as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, but it's crazy. Sometimes you can protect someone as long as you can as a parent, but that protection could work the other way around. Let's talk about a couple of videos because we have a couple of videos we want to discuss, and we're gonna run through them real quick and just give our opinion on it because I mean, there's a lot there that happened. Let's start with this one. Fair use.
What is very clear to me is that Dion misjudged what kind of leverage his son had. He got bad information. I think his son was operating on the principle that my daddy knows everything. My daddy knows this league. And my daddy says I'm going to be a top 10 pick. So I ain't got to go to all these places. I have had people tell me things about the way the Shedeur carried himself in meetings that he had with teams. And it was poor. It was the way that you behave when you have the leverage. And he wasn't good enough to have that leverage. And again, some of us were telling you that as a talent, there were shortcomings. He didn't have the physical traits that NFL teams look for. We told you this. We did. So stop acting like everybody was so sure that Shedeur was going to go early. And then now the league, they decided to put their thumb on this outspoken black man. You know how disrespectful that is to actual outspoken black men? Like, do you get it? No, that's just not what happened here. They thought they had more flex than they did. They thought the league was more interested in him that they did. They thought these teams were like, hey, they need a quarterback. They're going to take this one. They seen what it is. They ain't going to pass this up. And they passed it up over and over and over and over again. And once again, what did I tell you earlier? If you're not going to play and you're going to be quarterback, people got to like you.
Let's start with the hardest one right away. RJ. Leverage. Misjudgment of the situation.
So I do see them as two separate things, to be honest. Well, leverage is broad. It's a broad concept. But if we're talking about misjudgment of position, I can see that in the sense that if we look at Lonzo Ball, he was, I believe, the second pick, I believe, in his draft class. The Ball draft. And he was all hype, all hype. Yeah, it was the second overall by the LA Lakers. Second overall pick. But before he got drafted, there was a lot of LeVar doing the talking. My son's gonna do this. My son's gonna do that. My son's gonna do this. My son's gonna do that. And promotion does help, just like getting into the Hall of Fame, right? You hear a lot of Hall of Famers and former athletes who maybe have not entered into the Hall of Fame. When they're asked the questions why they're not in there, they say because at the end of the day, you have to promote yourself. There has to be like some sort of marketing. And Prime is a beast in marketing. He knows what he's doing. But to their point, would he have gotten the same attention as would have gotten it if he wasn't Coach Prime's son, and if he wasn't playing on Colorado, and if he wasn't playing under his dad, but average the same stat? Would you say yes, he's an elite one? And that's something that can definitely be argued.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of you're kind of right in that sense that if he would have, I think this is where everything started to go wrong because when you think you have more, it's like when you have a market. You know, a lot of times we see these videos where people are saying, "What do you bring to the table?" And what do some people say? You're on mute.
Some women say, I am the table. Some
I
people
am
say,
the
I am the
table.
table. Yeah.
I am the table. I have the feeling that's what happened here. He thought that he was the table when he went into these interviews and thought he had the leverage because, I mean, there are more teams interested in him. They asked him to do certain things, and they asked him, what do you bring to the table? He literally told them, I am the table. What do you bring to the table? Sometimes you gotta keep the same energy, RJ. People need to keep the same energy. When people see those videos where females say this stuff, they mock them. They make
Mhm.
fun of them. Now that the NFL teams are making fun of this the same situation, they blame them for collusion.
But I do think that we have to take into account the fact that um, he's always done it. His dad's always done it.
He's done it. He's always done it under his dad, because the dad put him in the right positions. Keep
Yeah.
that in mind. What happens when you go to the NFL, RJ?
There's not gonna be a dad anymore.
Not only that, there's no ideal position.
What do you mean by ideal position?
When you get drafted in the first round, why, and as a high pick, why does the team have a high pick? Because they're trash. Or sometimes they traded a pick a year earlier. Sometimes they're lucky to get a good pick because they traded, and some way somehow they did good the year after. But most of the time they are trash. That's why they get a high pick. So when you get drafted, most of the time you don't get drafted into a good situation. You have to make it a good situation. How do I know as a team that when your dad is not there, whether you can cope with not the best situation? Because your dad helped you all this time. Are you willing to be assertive, open for teaching moments? And that's the second video for today. Let's talk about, we have the second video. Let's watch it right away. Warren Moon, legendary quarterback, had the following to say about this situation. By the way, I'm gonna play it in the background because if I'm not mistaken, this was a TV interview, so we know how those go.
I really talk about the past and what happened. But if you were to be able to talk to Shedeur, I don't know if you have, what would you tell him as he tries to win this job?
I think I would tell him, you understand the things that you might have done wrong or did right throughout the process, the pre-draft process. But now you're drafted, you're in an organization, you got a chance to go in there and make a name for yourself. And it's how you go about doing it, it's how you attack it. There's nobody there that's solidified in that job at quarterback right now. Joe Flacco's in his 40s. We don't know what he has. Dylan, the kid from Oregon, he's a rookie.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, none of those guys have done anything in this league so far. So I think the job is wide open for Shedeur. All he has to do is go in there, put his head down to the grindstone and go after it and be the player that he's been the last few stops he's been at. So it's all in front of him. It's just the only thing that's affected him now is he's not a first-round draft pick, so it's the amount of bonus money he gets. Otherwise, he's still on the football team, and he has just as good a chance as anybody else on that team to make it.
Well, you know about playing with a chip on your shoulder. I imagine he'll have a pretty good one. Do you think, what are the chances in your opinion, who's the starter week 1 for the Browns?
Well, that's what I say. You use this as fuel, and this is good fuel for you to just go in there and show what people don't think you can do. I don't know who the first day starter is going to be. A lot of it's going to have to do with how all these guys play in the preseason, because that's what coaches look at. How do you play when the lights are on? So there's only 3 preseason games now, so you don't have as much of an opportunity to get out there and show what you can do. But you got to make the most. If you only get 5 plays, you make those 5 plays really 5 good plays.
There are some CFL rumors. That's how you started your
Yes,
career.
it is.
You were in the CFL until you were 28 years old. Do you think that would be the right or wrong move for him?
I think he's fine right where he is. I think he's an NFL player. I think a lot of teams looked at him that way, but because of other circumstances, it didn't happen as far as being drafted high enough. Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick.
Yes.
We look at what happened to him. So I wasn't drafted at all. You look at what happened to me. So it doesn't matter where you're drafted. It's how you handle it once you're drafted or once you get inside the NFL camp.
And then as dads, like you have your son Reich and like Dion, it's an interesting role because you have to be very almost tempered. You have to be very disciplined in how you handle that.
Well,
as the dad.
As a dad, probably an all-time great at that position, is a whole different mindset when you play corner compared to playing quarterback. You can't act like a cornerback when you're playing quarterback. Quarterback's a humble position.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be respectful. You got to be a leader. You're the face of the franchise. There's so much more responsibility that comes along with it. That's what he has to understand.
You have to be humble. It's not the same.
I do think, KaiR, that they're talking about that boy, Dylan, Gabriel, Dylan, but Shedeur. Flacco is old. He's on his way out. Deshaun Watson is in chronicle therapy, masseuse therapy. Joe Flacco, and then you have that Dylan guy. That Dylan guy, he's never played in the NFL, so the job is wide open for Shedeur. But Shedeur hasn't played in the NFL either.
Yeah.
So the job is wide open for both, and I do agree that at the end of the day, it's just like school and work. I can share with you out of experience that the people who were getting the highest grades in college and the university do not have necessarily the best jobs. They're not like the top performers in the market. And so, hey, now you have to prove yourself. But to your point, you're going to be treated, you're not going to get preferential treatment anymore. As soon as So everywhere that Dion went, he brought Shedeur, and Shedeur started. It was almost a given.
He always got the key to the car right away.
Yeah. And I remember when he went to Colorado as well, he said Shedeur's going to start because when they asked him who's going to start, he said Shedeur is the best quarterback. And that was, I believe, without him he didn't even play. That was like right after signing. And so now he has to fight for it. Now, I do think that he's a good quarterback. If you look at his stats, he can be a very stable quarterback. He's been accused of a lot of things, stat padding and caring more about this individual performance than the collective.
Even Cam said he's stat padding in the first video.
Cam Newton.
Like Cameron Ward. Cam Ward.
Yeah.
He said if I would throw like you, I would have had a completion rate of 90.
Oh, Cam Ward. Yeah. But these are all allegations.
Yeah,
In any case, what we do know is that when he throws, he is very accurate.
Yeah.
So he has that ability. But we'll have to wait and see. Now he has a good look at his we just have to wait and see, I would say.
Yeah, I think
but they are let me just but they are favoring him over other quarterbacks.
They are favoring
him. And I do think it's clear he is a good player, but they're doing it because there have been other good players in the past. They're doing it because of who his father is and because of who he is.
Yeah. There have been better players getting drafted at a bad position. At the end of the day, I think a key thing that Warren said at the end, which is you cannot play like you're a cornerback. It's a different position. It requires a different attitude. Whereas as a cornerback, you can play flashy. You can be, let's call it by the worst way, irresponsible. I'm not saying that being flashy is irresponsible, but you can play more free. As a quarterback, I think you have to be, and look at all the quarterbacks in the game. No matter how good they are, when you hear them talk, they are the most humble guys in the team. Even though internally they probably think I'm the best ever. Ain't no one touching me. They're not making it vocal. And I think that's one thing we probably will have to learn. Learning how to communicate as a NFL quarterback.
The thing is, he's been like this since forever now.
Yes, but
And the thing is, if you look at Dion Jr., if you look at Junior, it's like they all have that swag with them. They all have that confidence with them. But Shedeur has that talking-ish.
yes. The problem with that kind of, at the end of the day, you're the leader of the team. The team follows you. The problem with, there's nothing wrong with talking ish. In front of the camera, you cannot name me one NFL quarterback that talks crazy to the point it almost sounds arrogant. Name
yes,
me
I can.
one. Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
He sounds snarky.
No, I mean to the owners, he does sound arrogant.
I'm talking about if you're watching him in the interview.
Yeah. Oh, like
Okay.
that. No, not like that. No, not like that. No.
When he's talking to the interviewers, asking him questions, no one sounds
You're right.
crazy.
You're right.
I think so. That's what I mean with he has to adjust the way he communicates. I'll be honest, this is something his dad should have taught him a long time ago already. Preparation for the job.
Hindsight is always 2020. So we'll have to wait and see. Because if he comes with this swag and he balls and he gets the job done,
Yeah.
then his dad did a good job. Because people are gonna look, it's gonna reflect on his dad either way.
Well,
The good and the bad.
the good and the bad.
Especially the bad, because they've been wanting to get at the dad for a long while now. Since he was in the NBA, in the NFL.
NBA. Yeah. So I think that's something you have to work on, RJ, because at the end of the day, the big problem is this, and this is by being humble when you're losing crazy, it's like creating bullet point material. If you talk 1 week crazy, like you're the crazy best ever, and let the week after you go 30 for 30, like my guy, the crab thief, aka the W eater, aka I want to play in some snow. I want to thank God I play in some snow.
Bless me today.
To play in some snow. If you throw as much interceptions as him, you're gonna look crazy, and you're just giving the media all kinds of leverage, all kinds of clips on you. You don't want to do that. So the humble is both to protect the team and protect yourself. Arrogance and confidence look the same, but they're not the same. You got to be very careful about that. Let's close this part out with, of course, the shocking moment. Well, let me see if I have it here. Before I go to that moment, I think
Before you go to that moment, There was something, I don't know if you heard about it, something like the Prince of Pan-Africanism said.
Oh, oh yeah. You wanna go there? Let's go to the Prince of Pan-Africanism with his wonderful advice to Shedeur and his dad. Fair use.
I stand in solidarity with the Sanders family over this because this is wrong. And whether it's Shannon Sharp or Carmelo Anthony or Shedeur Sanders, an attack on any black man is an attack on every black man. This was wrong. And I'm hoping that Deion and Shedeur will sue the NFL for racial discrimination and collusion against Shedeur on draft day. This ain't the end of this, Art. They need to sue. Do not let this go, Deion. Do not let this go, Shedeur. Do not let this go. Because guess what, Art? What better karma could Shedeur get from this?
Yeah, I'm gonna let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish because what he said is just crazy. What better karma? I'll give you the karma. You'll be sitting on the same couch as Colin. That's the kind of karma you have after that one. That's RJ. If he wins that lawsuit, that's the last cent you'll ever see, last dime you'll ever see from an NFL team. But let's continue.
Than to sue the NFL and get all $40+ million back that they robbed from him on draft day. Think about it, Art. If he sues and wins, he will get all of the $40+ million they robbed from him on draft day, plus a whole lot more.
There's no guarantee he'll get all. RJ, I already know how this is gonna end.
How can we be racist? The first pick was a black man.
You know what? Here's 10 million. Guess what? That's the last 10 million you'll ever see from us. Go away. Go play. Hey, go play with The Rock and them.
Yeah.
This is
You know,
crazy.
that's when someone who has nothing to lose gives you an advice.
Oh man, you gotta be very careful whose advice you're trying to follow. That's a
Run
good
up.
one. So someone who has nothing to lose, who's not in your situation, and is not thinking about the future. What better karma?
And will not suffer the consequences of your action.
Oh,
They're giving you advice.
oh my!
They're not gonna be there when
When the manure hits the fan.
Yeah.
Now this is crazy. This is crazy. He's gonna end up. He's not gonna get that 40 million. That's
if he files a lawsuit, he's not. Listen. Shedeur is in the NFL. He has a chance to play. He just gotta play, and he needs to let his game speak for itself. And basically, that's meritocracy. That's how the NFL works. You see what happened in with the Browns. They went on and paid a person who had a quarterback who had 60
that's a robbery. That's a robbery right there.
60 ongoing lawsuits and they still got him on board, got Deshaun Watson on board for a fully guaranteed
They warned them,
contract.
RJ. They
Dude is
warned
not
them.
dude wasn't playing, dude
They
hasn't been
warned
playing,
them.
dude was injured, they did it. That's the Browns.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this whole thing? The NFL teams warned them about not doing this. More from the perspective of setting a precedent. Not that they expected this man to bomb like he did. But more, you're setting a precedent. Now you paid a trash man $230 million. He's now
5 year guaranteed. 5 year.
230, right?
230, yeah.
Jesus. That's what the NFL should sue for. Robbery. Highway robbery. This is crazy. This is the heat.
Yeah. But if I'm not mistaken, this is his. Would this be his last? So the up and coming season, his last season.
I think he's now in its fourth year. He's gonna enter his fourth or fifth year.
Yeah. So this is gonna be the last season, I believe. So after this season, that slot is gonna open up. That's like a $46 million slot. For
How
someone
much?
who's not
Wait a second. How
playing.
much? Yo, how much is the cap hit from him alone?
The what?
The cap hit.
The cap hit. His cap hit would be the this season is 35 mil.
Uh-huh.
Next season, it's set at 80 mil.
Mm,
Jeez.
my God.
But that means that after
You know what's crazy? One thing you forgot. 2027, 2027, his cap hit is 27 million. 2028, his cap hit is 18 million. 2029, his cap hit is 8 million almost.
yeah,
So, oh my God. Imagine the cap hit. And he's not even playing.
he's not even playing.
And I
But-
think, you know what it is? Oh, no, continue.
Yeah,
continue.
go ahead.
Say what you. No, say your piece. Say your piece.
No, just to say that if you look at him, so Deshaun Watson will probably not be here next year. So after the up and coming season, Joe Flacco will also not be here. So basically, the Browns have two quarterbacks to choose from.
3. Kenny
Who's
Pickett.
the third one? Pickett, yeah, 3. Yeah,
The-
who has a bit more experience?
and being trash. Hey, here at the Double Talk, we keep it real, man. We keep it real. Ain't no way. Kenny Pickett ain't no starter quality. So it should be. I'll be honest, RJ. Being drafted at the number he did, at the end of the day, it doesn't say anything of his qualities and how he's gonna develop. Because people say it's highway robbery. Okay, let's say it's a highway robbery. They robbed them. They tanked. They colluded. By the way, I don't believe in collusion. You know why, RJ? You know why I don't believe in collusion? Every team wants to win the Super Bowl. If he's that good, billionaires they poke each other in the back all the time. They'll act like they're not gonna draft him, then they draft him, then someone is if he was that good, but he's not as good as Cam Ward, for example. But let's go back. If he has now, he's now in the league. He has now, like you said, a chance to prove himself to be the guy he is. Just focus. Don't be out here making rap songs, doing all kind of crazy
hanging
stuff.
out with Shansea.
With who?
Shansea, I think that's how you pronounce her name.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, you got money?
A Jamaican artist.
Okay.
She's
okay.
the artist that was on. I don't know if you watched. What's dude's name? What's the YouTuber, the content creator?
DDG?
No, the fat one. The funny one.
Phantom?
No, not Phantom, not Amp. But he goes on. He's like friends with them as well. You know him. He has this dating show. He has the talent show as well.
The talent show. Oh, you mean Drewski?
Drewski, yes. So Drewski, I don't know if you watched the talent show where Drewski went to Jamaica,
No.
but then Shansea was there as well. So that's how
Okay.
She's like 5 years old. She's 5 years older, and she was there during the draft day,
Okay.
sitting
okay.
next to Shedeur.
Okay.
It sparked a lot of
Okay.
commotions, and she said no, but she was there actually to perform.
Oh, that's her. I saw
Yeah.
the tweets. I
Yeah.
thought that was crazy. She's only 5 years older. It's not like she's 30 or 60
Exactly.
trying to groom the guy.
It's not like she's Cher.
Cher or Tracy Ellis Ross trying to get it in. Tracy, call me. Well, I'm not in the category you describe. I'm probably more towards the toxic one, but give me a call. We can negotiate this. We can negotiate. I'm pretty good at negotiating. That's all I'll say.
And I'll vouch for my bro, Tracy Alice Ross. KR is the table.
No, you're setting me up. Now you're setting me up. Now you're setting me up, man. Only thing you had to do, you shouldn't oversell it. This is your right hand man. You shouldn't oversell the deal.
My bad, bro.
I'm not the table. She's the table.
Yes, you're the chair.
I'm the chair. I sit at the table, and the food comes on the table, and I eat the table. Now, just hey, at the end of the day, hey guys, I'll be honest. Shedeur might have had a very bad draft, pre-draft process. But
again.
now he has the chance
Oh my God.
to now he has the chance to prove himself in the NFL. He is good enough to be in the team. The only thing he has to show is poise, being a leader, and showing the team that he can do it without his dad there. He has the talent. With regards to the arm and the qualities, he has a I'm gonna say this crazy. This is gonna sound crazy. He has the Mac Jones type of arm, which is not the best one. That's an interception arm. I know it. How do I know it? Because I've seen 36 games that I didn't want to see from Mac Jones. I had enough at the end. RJ can vouch for me as well. The end, it felt like Jesus came back when they fired this guy.
You know what it is, KR? I think that it's important and this is basically going to be the recipe for success or disaster. Will Shedeur accept the leadership of another coach?
Yep. That's it.
Will Dion, because Dion was excited, will Dion
shut up? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not Dion. No, Dion. First of all, you know Dion to shut up. He talks trash the whole day, man. He talks trash. He can back it up as well. But I think so. The question is Dion going to encourage his son to follow the program, or will he tell his son, you're better, and if they don't listen to the teacher.
Let him grow on his own. Let him be his own man.
If the son gets expelled, will Dion whoop the child or the teacher? That's basically the question.
Jesus Christ.
That's basically.
Look, you're giving me daddy flashbacks right now.
How would you get flashbacks?
I mean, I saw the video of him putting kettlebells on the coach, on the college coach of his son.
I don't recall seeing that one. But no, you need to show it.
Yo,
I saw it.
You could see it in my eyes. He saw it in my eyes. Oh shoot! You saw it in my eyes.
I saw you, man. No, I'm not seeing go. I'm not seeing go. My heart skipped a beat, man.
Yo,
Come on.
Like, no.
Your eyes. You were like,
Oh
I
man.
can pull the video up real quick. I was like, no, okay. I'm like,
Let me show it how it goes down out here with these millionaires, how they crash out on each other.
nah, but we
Guys,
got
let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think Shedeur will make it? I do believe he has all the traits to at least make it as a backup for this year and work through it. He has to grow. You have to grow and become better. Would you have taken him earlier? Let us know in the comments. Hey man, shout out to him. Wope for the best. And guys, let us know in the comments what you think, and we're picking the best to feature one of our future videos. RJ.
yes. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos.
Damn, it seems like Terrence is becoming a frequent. He's on his media tour. I don't know if he has a book coming out or a movie, or is he just promoting his science or his patents out here? I don't know, but he's out here giving a lot of interviews, and this is what he had to say in an interview on Club Random Podcast. Fair use.
Me. So funny. My friend said to me, rappers, they're all so tough until you hear their real name.
Yeah, well, until you see them at a puffy party, then they're not tough no more. I'm surprised that the rap game is still alive after, because the masculinity that the rappers are supposed to portray.
What is it? What is it with all the man on man action that I'm learning about? I mean, like with the puffy parties, like the last thing I ever thought that went on there was gay stuff. Not that gay stuff
Yeah, I
was
didn't-
wrong. It's wonderful. I just did not think that's what Puffy was doing.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it either. And even when my assistant said that stuff, I still was like joking it off. And it wasn't until later on that I heard other things from people that worked from him. You know, you remember that back in the times of slavery, they had a thing called breaking the buck, where they would take, not to go in a bad place, but this is how I see what's happening, the parallels with what's happening, correlates what's happening in the business. If they, back in the times of slavery, if they had like some 12-year-old slave that was just full of himself and confident and, wasn't listening, they would tie him to a log or a barrel.
Crazy. He's gonna continue to talk more about this, but what he's gonna talk about is what is happening. Well, he's gonna be more in detail what happened in the background and how he feels about Hollywood. We're gonna talk about this a little bit more today. We covered him in the past as well. And I mean, it turned into a quite interesting conversation. RJ.
Terrence Howard is a genius, according to some, misguided, according to others, and cuckoo, according to people who don't understand what he's saying. One thing I like about Terrence Howard is his demeanor. He has a cool and calm demeanor. We talked about it last time as well. So he does come over convincing. You know how they say, KaiR, that people who have the need to shout or yell out loud, usually they're insecure. And that's why they're shouting, to cover up their insecurity. So I believe it's something to the extent. This is like the other way around. It does give like a sense of self-control, self-confidence, and it is mass. That's why he can talk in a low volume but still make his point across. And of course, guys, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon as well. But KaiR, one thing that I've seen in the at least I've experienced growing up listening to urban music, more specifically rap, hip hop, R&B. And it was always this macho culture, right? We're tough. We're man, we're tough. We don't back down. We get whatever we want, we get.
Well, that's what Diddy thought.
That's what got Diddy where he is right now. But okay, that way of thinking. But in any case, you listen to songs that these are gym songs nowadays. They were gym songs back then because they hype you up.
Yep.
It's like, hey, nah, man, I don't do that, man. Okay. The urban black hip hop rap community was also originally, and still is, I would argue, but in the 90s, you're 100% straight. That's what you are. You don't play like that. I don't.
Well,
That's what the culture, that's what the message that was projected.
that's what the message, that's the record labels were projecting in the songs.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm talking as a consumer.
Oh, like that. Yeah, I understand. Okay. That's the
But it's
angle.
when you grow up and then you start watching like series like The Wire, start watching documentaries. You're like, okay, going to prison is manly. And then you hear like in prison, they get down with one another.
Yeah, that was crazy. First time I heard that, I was like,
But
yeah, I'm never gonna go to jail.
but KR, as long as you're not the one receiving, you're the man.
Oh no. That's even crazy. That's crazy. Oh man,
So-
what the heck?
But there was always this, but it was something, it was like clearly homo, but you weren't allowed to call it homo.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a homo act, but you weren't allowed to call it homo. So it was like a duality of concepts that basically it never really clicked. How was it possible that in the free world I would listen to music
Yeah.
of people who were gangsters, they were hustlers, they were all sorts of things, and hetero, 100% straight. But when you hear about, and usually these people weren't who they were projected to be as either, because they were
Hindsight
like
is 2020. Hindsight is
personas.
2020.
But if you
Hindsight
look
is
at the
2020.
people they were talking about, how they lived in the penitentiary, they were getting it on with one another.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And now that you're older, you're like, but in the free world, they were doing the same thing.
It's
apparently.
They say the school to prison pipeline. It was the hip hop to prison to Diddy pipeline.
There was some pipe there. I do believe that. And some lines. so
Oh man, no, but it's that's the crazy part about this whole thing. And I'm gonna continue playing the video so we can see what he had to say, because he had a couple of things to say about this situation.
All right.
Fair use.
And a bunch of the overseers would rape him to where when he walked around with the slaves now, he didn't have the confidence.
Sure.
He was broken. And it was called breaking the buck.
Wow.
And that's still taking place. And so to hear that people in the industry are still making young rappers who have fought the worst of circumstances, being disenfranchised, being discounted, and then they finally like, I'm gonna put it into the music. I'm gonna do it in the music, and and get myself together, and they go and see someone and they tell them, okay, yeah, you can have a deal, perform fellatio on me and you get your deal. That was what I heard while I was on Empire about some of the people in the business. And Petey Pablo, you remember Petey Pablo?
I know who that is.
Petey Pablo, talented writer, singer. Him and Young Buck wrote a song called Ho Is On. And in that song, back in about 2011 or 29 or something, because he called out all of the homosexuality taking place at those parties and those people, he was kicked out of the music business. No radio station would play his stuff. So you look for Petey Pablo, he's not around anymore. But that song, Ho It's On, they did
Now,
not
I
care.
mean-
They went all in on it.
Crazy. And Petey Pablo, I remember Petey Pablo from back in the days. He had a banger called Freaka League. He had goodies with Sierra. I mean, he had a couple of bangers, and I didn't know why. So sometimes the thing with music is sometimes you lose certain artists out of sight. You're like, what happened to him? And then you hear stories like this. He got sabotaged. Crazy. RJ.
Yeah. I think that you have to keep into account that, at least keep in mind that people will tell you how to live your life, but then turn around and live a completely different life. And if it wasn't for podcasting here, if we didn't witness with our own eyes and ears how Diddy told Fabulous
Yo.
that he likes it when he's scrabbling and scraping or something for
That's it. Those are the exact words. Those are the exact words. I think a lot of people were shocked
daddy
and
calling him daddy. If we didn't, I mean, think about it.
if
here.
he would have told that story, people would tell
would-
he's lying.
You
This
would
man is
say
clout
it's not the
chasing.
truth. Because if you would only judge Sean Diddy Combs, Sean Love Combs, Sean Puffy Combs by his image, the image he created, so not Sean Combs, but his image as Puff Daddy, as P. Diddy, as Brother Love, you would not believe that he was engaging in sexual activities with men. If it wasn't for 50 Cent,
Allegedly, by the way, guys.
if it wasn't for 50 Cent going on the Breakfast Club and saying that Diddy wanted to take him shopping, we don't know if the story is true, is what KaiR is saying. I'm just saying. But if 50 didn't say that, we wouldn't even think that it was even possible in the realm of possibility. Calling Fabulous daddy and everyone sitting at the table looking awkward as ish. Like,
And they're looking at their boss, so they're not gonna say anything.
bro, there are cameras around, man.
My
We
man,
usually do this when there aren't cameras.
that's what you get when people are drunk, right? They say the
it
truth gets
wasn't-
revealed.
If it wasn't for a video of French Montana eating breakfast shirtless at Diddy's house,
I think there was a hotel, but whatever it was.
it was a big ass hotel. Though.
I think it was in Las Vegas, by the way. But I think they were talking about it at the former presenter who's now living in England, who ran Ellen. They were describing that scene
Mm,
during her show. What?
well,
Crazy.
it's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. What can you learn from that? When men are offering to buy you clothes, thank them. Because those clothes come with strings. Those strings are not the right strings. not the type of not the type of right strings you want to have on clothes. No, but this is
Respectfully
crazy.
decline.
If yeah, you gotta respectfully decline. I think 50 revealing that story made Diddy look crazy back then.
But still, KR, when you hear the first story, just like the TD Jakes, we covered TD Jakes last Monday, so past Monday,
Yeah.
episode 259. And Cat Williams. So there were rumors in the past that TD Jakes, pastor Bishop TD Jakes, was involved in certain.
He
Mm,
was at Diddy parties. That's what was being said. They're not explicitly freak offs, but at Diddy parties.
and Cat Williams mentioned it explicitly as such. So, but still, it's not like real, you know?
So
It
real.
seems like it's so. So what I want to say is sometimes you hear the stories. You also hear stories about Diddy being involved with the Biggie and Tupac situation. I remember hearing these rumors,
You're talking
rumors,
about the deletion situation.
the deletion. Yeah,
No, not freak off situations.
I
Back then it
didn't hear
wasn't
that. No,
back then it wasn't the freak off yet.
no, it was just a Friday night out.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the deletion of the two. But
Mm.
these were all. I mean, you
Rumors.
hear it, but what does it mean? Until in 2024, 2023, 2024.
2022 it started, I think. Where
No,
you're
no.
heading.
When did the dude? What's his name?
Keefe.
Keefe. Yeah.
I think he started talking in 2022.
No, but he mentioned Diddy, I believe, in
Oh,
24, right? Okay,
before that,
so
I
we're talking
think.
about 3 years ago that he started mentioning it, and now
Multiple
he's
times in
multiple times, and now
books.
he's been detained, and so now, and now you're like, oh, but maybe it is true. So what I want to say is, in between the moment you hear of a rumor and the moment it turns out to be, I'm not even going to say true, but highly likely. It's like it's not like from one day to the other. It takes time.
Takes time. How do they say the truth will always reveal itself? Something like that. The truth shall overcome or whatever. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to think that about PT Pablo because I mean that song, guys, go look it up. That song was a hit. Freaka League. Don't play it with your kids around though. That's not for their ears. Definitely not. Or maybe you can play
Felicia, Tanisha, Chiquana,
you can play
Donna.
the censored one around the kids because there
Don't
is a
play it.
censored one.
Okay, I was.
Oh, that song was crazy, bro. When
It
when
was
the
a
song came
fire
out,
track, man. Still
oh,
is. Just like
I get
what's the one
flashbacks
who's
with
like,
that song.
just like what's the one? Uh, what's the one?
Which
Also a
one?
classic.
Goodies. Oh, which the neck back.
Oh, that's another one. No, no, I'm talking about a dude sang this one as well. It was a. It's like the video clip was like yellow. It's like outside yellowish, greenish. It was also a booty bouncing song, very famous one. One of the. I mean,
Mystical?
no, no, not that one.
Rich boy selling throw some D's?
No, 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 no. This was like also a hype one.
A hype one. Was it from the south?
I believe it's from the south. Yeah.
Who made the beat?
I can't recall. Let me see if I can. I can't recall, but I want to say is that it's like
Yeah, there's some classics back then, man. There were a
what
couple
what
of
I so what I
classics.
want to say is that I was enjoying these tracks without even knowing. Like I knew, but I didn't know. No, I saw in a video clip, but it's still different than. Oh, this is what they were saying.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like that from that angle? Yeah. As a kid, you listen to stuff, you think. By the
You
way,
lit, you understand it, but you don't understand it really. You know, it's just
yeah.
like
But you don't understand. That's true. One of the things I have to say is that Freakily, I didn't hear the original version bunch of years later. Because they were I would always hear the censored version for like I think 4 or 5 years before I really heard the real. I was like, hey yo, this man. Oh, do you mean the Yin Yang twins?
how does it go?
Hey, I do it, man. You spin your ear.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's another one.
That's a classic as well. Also, that one I only heard the censored one for like 4 years before I heard the real one. Consequently, well, yeah, don't play them around the kids, man. If you create a playlist, use the censored one when the kids are around. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think Petey Pablo got blackballed for telling the truth? Is Terrence Howard cloud chasing or just stirring controversy? Should the industry be held accountable for how they treat artists? Let us know in the comments what you think. And of course, we're gonna choose. I keep saying drop. I don't know why, but we will be picking some of the best comments in to be featured in one of our future shows. RJ,
Remember, it's juvenile, by the way.
Juvie. Oh, which one? The
Outside.
Project chick?
No.
Give me a
Back that.
project chick. Give me a
Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Lil Wayne, back the thing up.
Oh, D. Yeah, I know. D.
Yeah,
That one.
D.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, D. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our other socials. I don't think he is from the D, by the way. Detroit. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos. KR.
Let's go to the next one. Let's
What's
go right.
next?
Let's run through
What's
it.
next?
Like the next topic runs through everything.
What did you say? Gesundheit.
Shannon is cooked. You don't believe me?
Just
Look
watch.
at what you just watch. Fair use. Not gonna give you an intro.
We met in actually the press room at the Broncos, April of 2002. And we dated until the 2010 incident. And then it came to abrupt end because I wanted, we were arguing and he was threatening me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he me. So I had said no. And I said no, even though I was thinking that. And so it was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard.
New accusers are lining up. After the first one. We always talk about this, but I think we are now 30 for 30 relating these sequences, how things develop usually.
Yeah, did you hear anything about? Did you hear something about Shaq allegedly paying people to.
I heard those stories as well. I heard the video going around of Matt Barnes talking about that situation.
Yeah, the phone call, right? The phone call.
For what it seems like a WhatsApp audio that he dropped, which is kind of irresponsible from his part, to be honest. If this is a real audio, I mean, it's been floating already for months. But I would think it's very irresponsible for you to drop audio like this in what seems like a group chat. The way he talks, the sequence of words, it's not personal. It seems like it's for a group. So I don't know if it's true or not, but it would be crazy. But I've heard things. Not relating to this story, but to check in general. All I'll say is this is a topic we're not gonna focus on today. We continue to focusing on Shannon, please. I love my life.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's, I think he's cooked. I don't know if he's cooked legally, in the sense that I don't know how this case will fare in court, but I do think that it is very bad for his reputation and image.
Yeah.
And what he did during the last show, a show a couple of nights ago.
That was crazy too.
Even ISO Joe was like, what?
Fair use.
I only heard from two teams. Guess what the two teams they called me, Ocho?
What he looks normal now. I mean, he on the right side, the guy in the blue. Look at his face while it all goes down.
Yeah, Joe Johnson.
Phone number, where you gonna be?
Who that?
Shut the fuck up.
That's when he realized he shouldn't be here. That's when you realize that you're in trouble. I shouldn't have been here.
And then he switched and left.
Oh man, this is crazy. Let me put it back. Let me put it back. Oh, why doesn't it play?
I only heard from two teams. Guess what the two teams they called me, Ocho? Say, what's your phone number? Where you gonna be?
Who that?
Shut the fuck up. Next door. Cincinnati Bengals was one. I only heard from two teams. Guess what the two teams they called me, Ocho? Say, what's your phone number? Where you gonna be?
He went from smiling to
shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Next door.
I think in the next, I think he was saying like next door. Maybe it's like in a hotel room or something. But that switch is crazy, and then switch back.
Oh man, you shouldn't even have switched the first time, because no one's gonna listen to you. What the heck is he doing? Yeah, but I think this is not good for this new allegation. And we always talk about this, right? As soon as the first allegation pops out, it doesn't have to mean that it's true or not. I mean, I'm not doubting the accuser, but it always turns into multiple situations that will come out, whether they are related or not. You'll get videos about him slapping people around or crazy stuff that had nothing to do with it, or things that are related, and it happens usually. So what I think in general, you don't want these stories to come out, because once one come out, it will be followed by another 2 or 3, and maybe those are not real, or those are people that are. There have been consensual interactions, but maybe they didn't get what they wanted out of that relationship, and then they turn around. The care
package, a ring,
yeah. I think the biggest problem, and we talked about this last week, is that, and to my belief, from what we read in guys, if you go watch that show, what you'll see is that the text you read, RJ, for me, it feels like the girl felt like they were in a relationship. It wasn't a FWB situation.
8 years is a lot.
So what you have is that Shannon was treating it like a FWB situation, and she thought it was a relationship. When
I
it
don't
was
know.
revealed,
Is that what is being reported?
no. That's what she felt. Because listen to this. You read it last week. When it was revealed that Shannon had the video out with my Michelle, she felt betrayed. And I think, what was the word that they said? Not only betrayed, but what was the word that she used? Shame. She felt shame.
Ashamed. Yeah. Oh, shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame, ashamed. That's clearly what people feel when they think they're in a relationship, when there is a commitment there. Maybe she talked to friends about having a relationship with Shannon, then to find out she's a side girl.
Maybe. But it could also be that simply 8 years had passed and there wasn't anything else. Because what Shannon always says is that so when he's talking about relationships and why things do not work, he usually attributes it to women not understanding or not accepting the fact that he is a high performer and very busy and thus is not always available. That's what he says.
Does he tell them the truth? Oh.
I don't know. I do think so, yeah. At least that's what he says. He says that at the beginning of when he's dating a woman, he tells them this is the deal, this is what you get. I can give you this, I cannot give you that. Is that gonna be an issue? If that's gonna be an issue. And usually women say yes and they think that they can change you.
That's true as well. That is true.
So that's what he attributes it to in a majority of time. I do have to say that something I've thought about, like I understand why the CEO, the young black guy from, is he at Chick-fil-A right now?
No,
Was it
he's
Starbucks?
No, you mean I know who you mean.
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster, yeah.
Is it Red Lobster?
Yeah, it's Red Lobster.
Okay.
He just transferred from the Chinese.
Yeah, from
what's the name again?
PF Chang.
PF Chang, yeah.
Yeah, so that dude, for example, I think he said he's not in relationships. And I can see that happen. I can see it because if you're a CEO, it takes a lot of time, and usually that's a thing, right? And I understand why. I mean, you can laugh, but I can understand why Shannon would then opt for a OF model, because he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to say, okay, let's try to make something happen, but then he's gonna get into a problem.
It's a financial arrangement. Financial arrangement.
Exactly. So that's why he
better.
chose for a financial arrangement. Didn't think it would backfire the way it did.
Well, I don't know if well, the question is, was he paying or was he?
A cheek is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a sedan.
I mean, back in hindsight, it's pretty cheap, but.
Yeah, and each side of the hind is 25K. Can you imagine that, KaiR?
I would have. I think if he would have paid it if he knew that this was gonna happen.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
I want to know what really went down, because I have a feeling. The thing is this: you gotta be very careful. First of all, people fall in love real easily in those situations as well. So you gotta keep a separation, a level of separation. I don't know what Shannon was doing beside what was written, but if you go in raw, chances are people will catch feelings. One of the two.
Yeah.
A lot of times. And you should have managed it better. That's at the end of the day. Maybe it shouldn't have went the OF route.
I don't think the OF
There
route
are
is the
there
answer.
are there
That's the
are
thing, right?
professionals. You have to hire professionals. OF is not doesn't have to be a professional. I don't want to use the word RJ.
I just think I don't. Yeah, I understand what you mean, but I let me put it like this. I
And I'm not talking
understand.
about those type of professionals, not the
Yeah, yeah,
pro
yeah,
ones, but
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
the, the nice word one.
yeah, yeah. I know which one you mean.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? So deep down, you want true love, but you have big dreams, and usually when you're in a relationship, there's a drag. It's like there's
Yeah,
the
always.
on both sides.
Yeah.
And what I like about actors is that they work a lot, but then they're home a lot as well. So, for example, Denzel Washington, he might act, for example, 6 months, 7 months in a year
Why don't you choose Leonardo DiCaprio?
because he's a slinger. I'm not going to choose for obvious reasons. I'm not going to use
He's home as
Leo
well
DiCaprio.
a lot.
For obvious reasons, I'm not going to.
Why was Leonardo able to manage a
But let me put it
19-year-old
like this: there
and
has to be and it's not even in relationships. So I'm not saying that the relationship isn't possible, but in order to be in a relationship with someone that is so high achieving, you need to be the support.
yeah,
The moment that you want to be too high achieving and you both want
it's
to be as
impossible.
high achieving, it's not possible. It's not sustainable because
It's
no
not
one's there for the
sustainable.
other when the other needs it. And you're going to start blaming each other while it's not really the other's fault. It's just your lifestyle. So going back to Shannon, I think he's done it through his whole career. He always put football first. That's where he came from. And the thing is, he was so focused on it because that was his gateway. This is what I believe. His way out. Apologies. His way out of poverty. Of poverty. And so, but the thing is, he was so focused on it. He passed his mark, kept on going, kept the focus, kept growing, kept the discipline, kept growing. But then there comes a point where you grow so hard, so fast, and you just keep going. And I understand the hunger. You just want to keep going. There's not enough because it's just the sport.
Yeah.
But then you've tried relationships on a couple of occasions, doesn't work out. The more you get, the more people are interested in you. They're not really interested in you. They're more interested in your money. And then you get an OF model that will offer you 25K a cheek, and then you say yes. And now you have to pay 50 mil a
Yeah.
P.
We talked about it last week. I think it's very green of him to not sign the NDA, man.
Yeah.
Very green. This man is greenish, bro. Can't be that old and make these kind of mistakes.
Agree. What's next, KaiR?
Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. We'll be focusing on the best comment. Before we close this section, do you think that 99% of OnlyFans setup people who are hiring them? Is there a higher chance? Should Shannon have went a different route? Not the OF, but another route. Do you think Shannon is cooked with this newest allegation? Let us know in the comments, and we'll be choosing the best to highlight in one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes. Also, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos.
Let's go to comment of the week, and that goes to Christine Bangura. She commented on the show we talked about Lecrae, who denied the Diddy freak-off stories. That was a crazy show, by the way. That was a crazy situation where we compared his interview, the podcast he did when he announced being there, describing what he saw, and a year later he said he didn't see it. There was nothing happening at these parties. So we have here Christine Bangura. That's not what he said in the first interview with the smiling emoji. Yes, totally agree. It was when I saw the stories and I compared them, it was kind of crazy actually. That way it seems like he was trying to gaslight all viewers of what he was telling us about. Nothing happened. You didn't see it. That wasn't real. Shout out to Christine. Thank you for your comment. RJ.
Yes, Christine, thank you for your comment. We do appreciate it. Guys, if you want to have want to get a mention in a future show during the comment of the week section, don't forget to like, subscribe, but especially engage with us in the comment section.
Yes, let's go to the around the internet. Let's go to the future of betting. RJ, do you think this is the future of betting? Do you think? 3, 2, 1. Which number do you choose? Which number do you choose? 1 to 6. You're on mute.
I'm gonna go with 3.
You're going with 3. I'm going with 4. Let's see. Let me put it on mute. It's open. 3, 2, 1, go.
I won. Oh, I didn't. I think this is written in Revelations, man. That in the end of times, people will do dumb-ish.
Another one.
This one was dope. This one was dope.
Also, betting. These are betting
I have
chances.
I have the dude in orange.
Because you saw it already. Fair use.
And I was just going to say they were holding their position better than some of the high schoolers. Wow, down the track, 80 and older. We have a battle in the middle of the track. 3 lanes, doing it out. And here the crowd at the Penn relays for our 80-year-old sprinters.
80 years
In
old.
lane 4, that is Dominic Stellato. I do believe it is. 16:02.
80 years old. Running like this. I think this is the future of betting. There's gonna be some degenerate out there that's gonna put these lines out where you can bet on 80-year-old athletics.
The athletic part, I have no problem with. I don't understand why in the first video they started in the cages. That's what I don't get.
Like a horse. It's
Like a horse,
betting.
yeah.
Yo, face first, my man. Holy shit. Oh my god. Why do older people always fall like that? That seems like a dive, by the way. They lean too much forward. No technique. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Is this the future of betting? Do you think your grandma, are you willing for $80 to have your grandma do a run like this and have her do like a tour? Let us know in the comments. And maybe we won't arrange a tour, but maybe
cover
an
it.
interested person will create such a league and we'll cover it.
We'll cover it, yeah.
We'll cover it. Yes. Live stream. This is when we go live. Next one for today. It's going to be, well, let's go to this one. All stories there are two sides to a story. Fair use.
What's going on?
I've loved a man for 5 years. He was in construction, cheated.
You cheated.
Exactly, 1,000,000 times.
Bro, what the can a man just have a fucking construction job?
He's here tonight.
How do you know the construction worker is here?
I see him. I see him right now.
You see him?
Girls, I have pictures of him in the bed with her. They would send it to me.
Okay, do we have any questions? Raise your hand if we got any questions. Okay.
Ask him, he's over there.
Yo.
RJ. That's crazy already.
That's crazy. So, what are the chances that you and your ex are in the same comedy show? And the fact that you're going on stage and pointing him out, it means you're clearly not over him. But maybe apparently you hurt his heart. So sometimes guys, people, if you hurt someone's heart, the other people, the one who did the hurting can move on. The victim, it will be a bit more difficult for him, or in this case, her, to get over it.
Let's see. As the title says, there are two sides to each story.
Okay.
He's stepping to the plate.
Yo, no, hold the fuck up, bro. We listen, we don't judge, bro. You have anything to say, fool?
I got a lot to say. First of all, if they give you 3 to 4 months without having a conversation with you, and then exactly, thank you, I'm single. When I'm single, yes, just come to me. And they come to me.
So far.
So she didn't speak to him for 3 to 4 months? Yeah, that's odd. Okay.
But I got text messages where I say, let's fix this before it's too late. And they say, fuck you. They go on trips. Yeah, exactly.
No te evita, way.
Is that what he said? They don't invite you. No
They
te
don't
invita.
invite
No
you.
te invita, güey.
Ella se ve pa Jamaica. Where they rob the
Que fui a
Botox.
Jamaica. Que fui a Jamaica.
Where they rob the Botox en crema. Crema jamaiquino. Let's continue. Yo, this is turning into...
Exactly. And then on top of all that, you do the right thing and you buy a motherfucking ring. And she's wearing a motherfucking ring.
Damn. This man is cooking.
Hold on. There was the one time that she went to pancreas and bullshit. I was there, and her daughter had to hide her fucking phone because she was so scared. Tell the truth, mija. Tell the truth, mija.
When the man starts talking about mija, mi hija.
Mi hija is what he's saying.
Yes, because it's
My
it's
child.
her daughter, but it's her daughter. But he was basically the stepdad. So
Yeah. Tell the truth. Wow.
yo, this is crazy. And every minute it becomes worse.
Yeah. For the woman.
She had to hide the motherfucking phone because I was gonna fucking find out. That I saw her here.
Jerry.
Maria, what's going on?
Big shout out to Alfred Robles, man. This is a crazy
why was the
story,
phone
man.
hidden? Because she was with another man?
Well, the only thing, well, I don't know exactly the way they cut it. It seems like she was hiding something from
There
them.
was something worth hiding, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how it seems. So, yeah, man. Anything else you want to say about that situation?
Well, the only thing that I would want to say is that gaslighting is a thing. Gaslighting is a thing. Some people will do the most egregious things against you, but when you do something, it's like the end of the world. But they will mess up all day, every day.
Do you agree on the fact that once you don't talk to each other for 3 or 4 months, you're back single? Or she doesn't talk to you. You're trying to reach out to her.
I think so. If you don't reply, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I think if you don't reply in a week
is a bit too short.
Depends on what you have, right? If you're
that's true.
Well, in their case, they had a relationship. Let's say she's mad a week, not a week, but a month after month. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait that long.
Yo, saying after a week I'm single, that's crazy work. that's just someone who just wants to cheat. I think I'm single. let me get it in right here. Oh, we're back together. It's just a short break.
I saw a crazy thing on a cam interview. I don't know if you saw it with one of the dudes from tonight's conversation, that platform. But he was talking about when he was working as a nurse at one point in his life, and was talking about how nurses, doctors, physicians, they
get it in.
They get it in, and that women cheat as much as men. They just don't get caught as much.
Mhm.
And she gave an example of how a woman, I guess, also like a physician there or something, or a surgeon or whatever, she would text him a grocery list, because she would tell her husband that she was gonna go out to get groceries, which gave her 40 minutes. And of course, when she got to his place, the groceries were already there. And so the dude would buy the grocery. That's great. And he's like,
The dude would buy the groceries to clap the groceries or to eat it, and then give it to her to go back to her.
Crazy.
It's crazy, man. People do the wildest things. People do the wildest. They do everything except for leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck to all of you out there, man. Good luck to you all. I hope your chick doesn't do you like she tried to do him in front of everyone. Your ex chick, your ex. Imagine trying to point out a guy and then he comes and burns the hell out of you. This is crazy. Shout out to Alfred Robles, and of course, the final one for today, RJ. I want you to read this one. This is also a crash out situation where someone, well, kind of something happened. Can you read it?
I got caught cheating on my man with this MF, and my man left and refused to pay the rent this month. I went to the guy who I was messing around. Wait. I need to, okay. I got caught cheating on my man with this MF, and my man left and refused to pay the rent this month. I went to the guy who I was messing around with and asked could he loan me the money for my rent until I get my income taxes. The MF really had the nerve to say my financial struggle isn't his problem. yo. My financial. Well, wait a minute. Hey, sometimes people still surprise me, man. My financial. My financial struggle isn't his problem. This so messed up because I wouldn't be in the situation if it wasn't for this broke MF. Well, yeah,
The way people
wow.
twist the things.
Yeah. I could have still had my man and my stability. The fact that I have to suffer because all I did was love another man is so unfair. It's sad. AF, these men don't know how to be men anymore and aren't being there for us to women during our time. Come on.
He was there during the hard times. I don't know what she's talking about. He was there during the hard times for him, not your hard times.
Yeah.
Crazy. This is her, by the way.
It's for real, for real.
Yeah, this is the post. And let me zoom
So
out.
she's twisting everything around, and this is crazy.
Mini F baby. That's already. If you're
If you're an F baby,
if your significant other has a crazy name like this on Facebook, man, guaranteed it will turn out bad.
yeah.
Mini F baby.
By the way,
We
if her
don't
name
want
is guaranteed, you should also avoid her.
Huh?
I said, by the way, if her name is guaranteed, you should probably also avoid her.
Also, if it's Mini F baby. F stands for fiduciary duty. Oh man. No, it's not. Just know that. I don't know why I said that. Oh.
You have to take care. You have to take care of her problems as if they're your own. Yo, that's crazy, man. Fiduciary. Yo. Fiduciary duty. Oh my god.
Hey, guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Is this cheating? Is she gaslighting everyone? Is she just this crazy? Of course, the other one, the two sides to the story. What do you think about that situation? And again, are you willing to put up your grandma for a race, or your grandpapa? Is he still strong in the legs? Was he a former football player who still has the speed? Let us know in the comments, and we'll be focusing and choosing the best one to feature one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon for all updates relating to the Double Thought Show. I want to thank you for sticking with us until the end. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time.
Peace.